What's going on, guys? Welcome to Stock Talk with Nico Kritikos. Today, we're going to do an update on Tesla stock because the stock is up over 10% today. This stock is now $274 a share, and we're looking at a market cap of $864 billion. So the reason for this jump today is because Morgan Stanley analyst Adam Jonas came out and put a $400 price target on this stock, up from a $250 price target. So a very dramatic jump. They're saying that this Dojo supercomputer can add up to $500 billion to Tesla's market value. So I am a very big Tesla bull. I've been an investor since 2019, I believe, is when I first started buying shares. But one thing you have to remember is that this same person, this Adam Jonas from Morgan Stanley, back in the day before Tesla started, only when it was like a $30 billion company, he said that Tesla's going to $10 a share and that they have cash flow problems and all this stuff, and the stock's not going anywhere. So if I would have listened to his advice back then, I would have made the worst investment of my life, because this turned out to be the best investment of my life. So keep that in mind. Just because they say things like this doesn't mean that it's the end all be all, but it still is important, because when they come out with price targets like this, look at the effect it has on the stock price. Now, do I think the stock's going to jump up to $400 anytime soon, or even during the next couple months? Not really. I think that's pretty dramatic. Now, I'm not saying it's impossible, because we've seen Tesla go on giant runs like that before. Right here, it was $200 and it went all the way up to 400 and it doubled. So there's plenty of situations where Tesla stock has doubled and tripled. So it's possible the stock is $400 in a month or two from now. That's very possible. But at that point, I think it would be more on the overvalued side. But the bottom line is, I'm still a very strong bull for Tesla stock. I think they do have everything they need to, as long as they keep executing, I think they can be a $2 trillion company or something giant, if not bigger, maybe a $3 or $4 trillion company years down the road. I think that would be a fair valuation, maybe 5 years from now or 7 years from now, if they are making a bunch of money from robo-taxis and they're selling cars to the masses, which they talk about recently, where they're coming out with a $25,000 car, all these different things. And I also read that they make their own chips. They're one of the only companies that they don't need NVIDIA's chips. Tesla creates their own artificial intelligence semiconductor chips. So there's just so many different things. There's the Tesla insurance. There's all these different models of vehicles. They have the robots that they were talking about. There's all these different things that Tesla will be making money from. Their profit margins are way higher. They don't have to deal with dealerships. There's just so many different things. So that's why I will continue holding my Tesla shares, unless if it goes to $400 a share or somewhere near there, I will definitely take some profits at that point, because then we're looking at what? We're looking at, that's going to be well over $1 trillion market cap. And although Tesla is putting up some pretty good growth numbers right now, we're looking at 22% this year, and it's actually going to accelerate to 27%. I don't know if, I would say $1 trillion, maybe a $1.2 trillion valuation, that would be somewhere in the fair value range, maybe. But over 1.2 trillion, that's starting to cut it. That's starting to put too rich of a valuation on it, and then it gets more dangerous to stay in it. But right now, we're looking at a price to earnings of 71 times trailing, which is a lot, but really on a forward basis, it's only 28. So 28 times forward earnings is not bad at all. That's, especially for a company that's growing like this. I can easily see Tesla having a similar trajectory as an Amazon or an Apple. I think that's very realistic. I think they have, well over a decade of growth, of them doing, over 10% growth for at least another decade. And their profit margins are going to be super high. I think it's realistic that they are an extremely dominant player in the entire automobile space. And they have a lot going for them. So I think this is one of the most interesting stocks in the market. And although I sold some shares back in the day, pretty much right at the peak. I sold some when it was around like 300, and then I also sold some shares at $400 a share. So it worked out pretty well. And then I bought some more when it hit $100 a share earlier this year. just a little bit, and then I sold out of that. I sold out of that once I doubled my money within a couple months. So I've had lots of luck with Tesla, lots of success. I'm very happy with that. But I think the future is so strong and promising for this company that I'm going to have to hold the shares I have now, hopefully for at least another 3 years or 6 years or something like that, depending on what the stock price does. If the stock price does something crazy where if it doubles from here, then I would like to take my profits and sell then. But we'll see what happens. Just wanted to keep you guys updated on Tesla stock and what's going on with the company, what I'm doing with my shares, and what the price targets are looking like. So let me know what you guys are thinking, what you're doing with the shares. I will see you in the next video.